Hello, friends. My wife, Kathy, and I are leading a retreat in November 4th to 11th here at Moon Lake. We're calling it the creation of freedom. And what I wanted to share with you is 5 truths about freedom. 5. The first is God is an essential idea to wrestle with. If you've been beaten up by your religious background and you want to dismiss God, all you're doing is making yourself smaller. You need to wrestle with that idea. You need to be able to argue with that idea and not just believe. You need to create God in such a way that your relationship to God is constantly influencing and creating you. God is one of the great ideas, and freedom comes not by saying God doesn't exist, and it certainly doesn't come by following religious tenets. It comes from your relationship with that great idea. Number 2, moment by moment, the quality of your attention, the way you're listening to me now, the way I'm listening inside myself as I talk to you, that is determining how you are experiencing me. The quality of your attention is determining the reality you live in. So when you're with another person and you're just listening half-heartedly, there's no meaning, no aliveness in that. If you're with another person and you're defending your territory, then you're in an aggressive, conflict-ridden relationship. But if you're with another person and the quality of your attention is spacious and open, and you're really attentive and you realize I'm listening to an otherness, then in that moment, there is a living presence, a current that holds you. And that current can bridge differences, profoundly bridge differences. So how you touch with the quality of your attention determines whether this moment is your friend or your suffering. The third aspect of freedom, you are creating the path that is creating you. You are the creation of the path that you create. Moment by moment, when you indulge certain kinds of thoughts and they cause you to tighten inside and contract and get indignant or impatient or small, you are creating the path that creates you. You have to learn to touch, as I just talked about, in such a way that the world touches you softly, spaciously. You are creating that path. You're creating it with the choice of what things you allow yourself to think about, how long you'll allow yourself to follow a thought that's already making you tense, that is already making you defensive, that's already making you self-important, that's already making you angry. Stop it. That's going to create a path, constant conflict, constant distancing from others, constant neurotic worrying. Cut it out. You are the creation of the path you create, and that is freedom. Then there is the notion of loving love itself. In any relationship, you will not have freedom if it's transactional. If you want that person to love you because you do this and this and this, and you want this and this back from that person, nonsense. Just nonsense. Yeah, you have a shared purpose for building a family for a while, great. But those relationships don't have much juice and don't last until you put love in the picture, not loving transactionally, but loving love with another person. Loving love. Is this person that you are with someone you can love with? And if you are willing to love with that person, how does love want you to listen to him or her? How does love want you to attend to him or her? How does love want you to play with him or her? How does love want you to talk about the differences in the things you believe? How does love want you to meet each other? That's a form of freedom because you're determining your relationship to love, and that becomes the ground by which you listen and share and engage and play with everyone in your life. And then finally, the final piece, the fifth truth about freedom, you have to be willing to die. You have to simply realize, I'm not going to win. I'm not going to get out of this life alive. Jesus taught dying in a lot of ways. He said, turn the other cheek, which was the death of identity, the death of resistance to someone else someone else's energy. He said, love thy enemies. That's truly a form of dying, a profound form of dying, a meaningful form of dying. But it means that your enemies may just trample you. But and so you're gone. You're gone. But you weren't the prisoner of your fear of dying, of controlling how that happened. Viktor Frankl, in his book, Man's Search for Meaning, describes his several years in Auschwitz, and he talks about the people. He said they were rare, but it was distinctive, that the opportunity of Auschwitz was profound spiritual action, spiritual activity, awakening in a few people. And he said those people didn't survive. He said the best of us never left there. But what happened in those people, they knew those 5 other truths. And in that incredibly terrible situation, instead of being hopeless, instead of being just in a mode of survival, they were in a mode of loving, of freedom. They had freedom. And as he said, they're rare. But most of us live our lives so, I want to curse almost, so damn complacently. Freedom is meaningless. You're never going to have freedom. You're never going to have much of life, anything. You're not going to have sure, fiery, vital, deep, radical aliveness. So come and join us for our retreat. Get to play with us. The love that we have for you and for each other, it's just going to hold you. It's time for you to create freedom for yourself and to walk out of 8 days with us and really know what you're going to navigate your life by. You already know, but you're going to know even better. So that's my invitation. We'll help you come. If you run into financial problems, you're stressed, we'll find a way to help you. But you just get online, register for the retreat, send us an email, tell us your intent, and we will help you. And we want to work with you. And we have a few more places left. We want to fill this. It's only going to be about 14, 16 people at the most. So profound time for engagement. 5 truths for the creation of freedom. Blessings.